With Uber Reserve, you can book your Uber ride in advance, 90 days in advance. Perfect for all you forward thinkers and planning gurus. Reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. Uber Reserve. See Uber app for details.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, FDA approved for over 20 years. So, talk to your specialist to see if Botox Cosmetic is right for you.
For full prescribing information, including boxed warning, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
Remember to ask for Botox Cosmetic by name. To see for yourself and learn more, visit BotoxCosmetic.com. That's BotoxCosmetic.com.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Eric Oakley, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast, talking about those Detroit Lions. And I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's nearly midnight. I'm on the road. It's pouring rain. I've got the wireless earbud in. I hit voice memo, bringing you content. I got to talk about us just destroying the cheddar heads, the mozzarella sticks, the Green Bay Packers. In Green Bay, by the way, and in case you didn't know, it was raining out. I don't know if they mentioned that on the broadcast. I'll get into that in a little bit. I also want to talk trade deadline because with all the craziness throughout my week, my day, the trade deadline came and went. The Detroit Lions they traded for Zadarius Smith, Smiffff, Zadarius Smith, Z Smith, as I'll probably refer to him. And everybody knew this was going to be the trade. You wondered how much it was going to cost. You wondered if they were going to do anything else. As far as I looked on the Twitterverse and checked with a few people, since I've been out of pocket a little bit, they did not make another move, but they did add an edge rusher that's a vet that knows the NFC North, that has done some things. I'm totally good with it. Like, I feel like this is a guy, he's a heavy end, meaning he can play the run, he can get after the quarterback. He's a solid vet. He's a nasty football player. He's a Dan Campbell type favorite. He He can come and play day one. He can also do similar things to what Hutch did from a physical perspective. So you didn't get some bendy, weak outside linebacker or edge rusher. You got a big, heavy end that has production in this league, knows what he's doing. And like I say, I'm totally good with it. As long as he's good with it, meaning like he comes in here with a good attitude, ready to roll, ready to make some plays, then I think you got to absolutely love it. Now, there was some rumor innuendo that a little bit before the trade, he put a SMH and then he deleted it. Did he mean shaking my head like he wasn't going to get traded to the Lions? Did he hear he was going to get traded to the Lions and then he was shaking his head? I don't know. All I know is he can help our pass rush. He can get after quarterbacks. He's a nasty but seems to be a good dude. There's good things said about him in the locker room, and I'm all for it because you're not going to replace Hutch. Would I have liked them to go bigger? Yes. Would I have liked them to maybe double dip? Yes. Do I think that they got Zadarius Smith at a good price and a guy that can basically come and play against the Texans a pretty heavy load of snaps if you need him to? Yeah, they did that. So I'm good with it. Now, I know at Chops in the D got at me and a few other friends and were like, I'm not blown away with this. Why didn't they do anything bigger? I wanted this. I wanted that. Is this going to be enough? Oakley, what's your take? I just gave you my take. I think it's fine. I think the price was fine. I do think sometimes Brad Holmes gives away multiple picks and just gets a seventh back and thinks he's good. I would have liked Zadarius more for a sixth flat rather than a 5-6 and a 7 back, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a wash. And yeah, I expect this guy to come in here, play a pretty heavy load pretty quickly, but also maybe take a little bit of time before you start seeing a certain level of sack production. But I think he'll set edges. I think he'll get after quarterbacks. I'm hoping and thinking that he'll mold pretty well with this gritty, grimy football team that we have and this defense. And as long as all that happens, it's a good trade at a good price at a position of need. And you had to do something. So a lot of people commending Brad Holmes. Well, he waited until the last minute and got his price. I mean, it sounded like nobody else was giving up a fourth rounder for Zadarius. We held our water because we didn't want to give up a fourth either. Got him for a 5-6 and a 7 on the way back. Basically, it equals out. It's less than a fourth. It's still not free, which would have been even nicer. But this is a pretty good player. Now, 4 years ago, I thought he was a real nasty, big, good end. Now he's kind of like, I kind of forgot about him that he was in Cleveland, to be honest. But if you look at his numbers, if you look what he did for Myles Garrett, I think he can do that for some of the other edge rushers as well as our interior players. So, Lions fans, you should be happy because we added a big physical body at a position we needed to. We added to our defense, which we needed to, because everybody knows our offense is already cooking, ready to roll. And now it's just time to go continue winning ball games, which we're doing, by the way, 7-1. I don't know if you've heard. I'm about to get to the cheddar heads, the matzo sticks, the people in Green Bay in a minute. But yeah, nice trade. Wish they would have done a little more. Wish they would have really went big for Max Crosby or a Trey Hendrickson. They decided not to do that. Probably wasn't available, but usually most people are available if you make them become available with both your offer and just not taking no for an answer. But Brad Holmes got a nice bargain bin vet that can do some things that hopefully, like I said, there's a chance too he comes in here and he's just ultra physical productive and he just becomes loved. And then you pair him up with Hutch next year, you pay him 5, 6, 10 million, whatever he makes with all the cap hits and the money they move around, and you let him and Hutch hunt, and you got the other dogs out there in the corners, safeties, whatever it may be. So again, I keep saying I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm not wowed by it. I still think it helps our football team, and Lions fans should be excited. Let's get him practiced up, suited up, play against Houston, and then really be ready to roll down the stretch when we need him. Because I don't know if you've heard, we're the best team in football. We're going to win the NFC North. We're going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. We're going to the Super Bowl. and we're going to win it. And if we don't, we're going to come back with Hutch next year. We're going to win it. And we might win it twice in a row the way this team is rolling. So everybody, actually, I'm going to take a pause for the cause because, like I say, I'm on the road. I don't even know if this audio quality is going to be good. But I know I'm trying to give you content in some form or fashion if this turns out okay. And I got to come back after the commercial break and talk about this absolute debacle beatdown of Green Bay, where they thought they were going to take us because they were at home and the weather wasn't good and the Lions don't play good in bad weather. Psh, please. We came in there, dropped a bomb on them. This game was never close. Don't let the score fool you. We clowned them, their fans, that whole town, and we showed who are the kings of the North. Everybody, I'll be right back.
All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You can put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now.
Kool-Aid drinkers, I'm back. Thank you so much for listening to our great sponsors, checking out the show. I know recently, we've got a couple combo shows with Chops in the D, my buddy Chops, aka Choppy Chop. He's been busy traveling. We've got scheduling conflicts with Logan Lamb Randier and Joey Sports Guy, and I haven't dialed anybody up on the Kool-Aid hotline, but sometimes I've just went solo and given you just straight football content. Other times I've done big gimmick shows, but I just can't thank all the loyal, diehard Detroit Kool-Aid drinkers enough for listening to the show, hitting me up on Twitter, shooting me a text, hitting up the Kool-Aid hotline, telling me they love the show, regardless if I feel like it was a good show or not. You rep our sponsors, you keep the lights on, you keep us rolling for the millions and millions of you out there. I can't thank you enough. And we got a hell of a football team here in Detroit. I don't know if you guys realize. So before I get into this Green Bay review / just clown show, or we went and just embarrassed them in their hallowed grounds, the frozen ton, whatever they like. Note to people out there, like I said, I'm driving in a pouring rain, late at night, highways going the obligatory amount over the speed limit. Don't be that guy that thinks the roadways are your NASCAR 500 raceway. Nobody needs you flying up behind, being right on top of someone, passing people in the right lane, just being an idiot out on the roadways. We're all trying to get home to our families, our lives. We don't need you, showing off that you can go 30 over the speed limit and not get caught by cops somehow. No one's impressed. It's actually endangering innocent people. And just don't be an idiot, please. That's my note. Every time I go through cities or I drive to certain places, I just look at these morons that just breaking every rule. Oh, I'm just too good to put my turn signal. I'll just cut you off. Oh, I gotta go 15 miles over the speed limit. Oh, I'll just run this red light. Oh, I'll just break. It's just bunch of fools out there, man. We're all trying to get where we're going and not have Joe Schmo take me out because he thought he was turning the right lane and needed to make another lap personal record speed. It's absolutely ridiculous. So people, I'm not saying you got to go drive Miss Daisy and go 10 miles under the speed limit and creep along. I'm just saying respect other drivers. Take it easy. You're not that important. I know you think you are, but you're not. and just take it easy and get to wherever you're going and let everybody else get there too without you creating some big issue. So that's my rant / take of the day. All right, now not a rant but I got plenty of takes, and that's the fact that we showed up in Green Bay. Amon Ra at a Green Bay, with Green Bay all is one word, by the way, sucks hoodie. Then he goes in there and, I don't know, absolutely gives his man the old double okey doke, Ferdinand Schnavitz, whoop-de-doo, throw it to the back pylon, let me catch it with a double toe tap touchdown. I mean, that was absolutely ARSB quality from top to bottom. This guy, just all he does is make plays. All he does, I had a buddy write me, and they were just like, I think they said Amon Ra was like a top 3, top 5 receiver, and all I wrote back was like, the guy does everything right from top to bottom. I mean, this guy, I'm not waiting for him to make one slip up where they show the stat. Him and the hashtag golf train are like 30 for 30. And I'm not talking ESPN docu-series. I'm talking about passes and completions. 30 of the last 30 passes from Jared Goff to Amon Ra have been either complete or touchdowns or first downs or game clinchers against Statty Patty in the playoffs. I mean, absolutely incredible. So you just have to love that. They are like clockwork. I love everything about it. But what else even happened in this game? Like, we looked like we couldn't be bothered by the weather. We're the tougher team. We're the smarter team. Oh, speaking of smarter, good old everybody's favorite new hotness, Jordan Love, decides he's going to throw a little sidearm, screen. I don't know what he's doing late in the first half. And guess who he throws it right to? Hashtag Curbo, hashtag curb stomp, Zuper, our man Kirby Joseph. What does he do? Takes it to the house for a touchdown. I mean, you had to love everything about that. Curbo is like, what did I call him? I was dubbing him Swaglicious. I think the Lions even put out that he's Curblicious. Or I don't even know, something to that effect, which they listen. Everybody listens to the pod here. But I thought Curblicious was even a little bit better than Swaglicious. But having him get a pick 6, what's that, like 6 INTs for the season for Curbo? I mean, he's funny, he's bold, he's brash, he's got swag, he's got drip. And oh, by the way, he's a ball hog. He's a dog. I love everything about Kirby Joseph from top to bottom. What a person, what a football player, and what a great free safety that all he does is pick off passes and do funny dances, and absolutely incredible. So what else happened? I mean, there's 14 points right there. Then there was another, Dan Gamble 4th down call where they just give it to the, hold on, wait for it, multi-dimensional, positionless, elite weapon, Jahmyr Gibbs. I didn't even make you wait for the elite because I'm in my car and I'm trying to watch the roadways and I'm still trying to give you energy even though it's midnight. I'm tired as could be and I still got an hour plus on my drive. But Jahmyr Gibbs, he touches the football. What was the other stat I see? You guys know I'm not a stat guy. But there was something that came out where Jahmyr Gibbs, before he gets to the line of scrimmage, is the fastest football player in the game at nearly 12 miles an hour before he even gets to your offensive lineman. What do you think he's doing when he gets to your linebackers? He's already up to at least 18 to 20. This guy is special when he touches it, when he kicks it into full gear. He can run you over. He can run to the outside. This was straight up the middle, prancing to the end zone. Absolutely loved it. Another touchdown. I mean, this is the thing that I didn't like about this game. We are just killing them in every aspect. This game is over by halftime, early third quarter. But for whatever reason, they get a couple late points, and the announcers are trying to say, "Oh, it's a 10-point game. Oh, if they do this, if they do that." This game was a blowout. Let's be honest. I mean, it says that we won by 10. The Lions played better in every facet. This should have been like a 21-24 type feel. We couldn't put up 40 again because it was just raining and terrible out. But this was a performance. Like I even expected it. I had friends that were like, I don't know, what about Chops' boy Goff in the weather? What about it's gonna be an ugly game and this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, like we're the better football team. We win. Green Bay's had their moments, don't get me wrong. But you could tell early in this football game that this was not going to be a very close contest. We could run it, we could throw it, we could catch it better, we could play defense, we could get after the passer, we could protect our passer, we could protect the football. Like, just so many things were going right in such a game that should have been so ugly, and instead, it's a great performance from the Lions. Like, no big bonehead mistakes that jump out to me off the top of my head. Yeah, a couple 3-and-outs or whatever that we don't like, and a late double, triple reverse by Ben Genius, which we probably didn't need at that point with the slippery football. But other than that, it's like we just cakewalked over a team that thinks they're as good as us in the division, in their house, in a typhoon downpour of rain, and made it look easy. And now we're a game up on Minnesota. We've beaten Green Bay in Green Bay. Both those teams have to come see the Lions. And the Lions aren't scared of anybody on the road, and especially at Ford Field. So this was a tremendous win on so many levels. This team is riding so high with confidence. Now, I'd love to come on here and just serve up the Detroit Koolaid, double-sided cornbread, get you guys all hype and excited. And I'm not the guy, the sky is falling, pessimistic. Oh, let me tell you what happened, 15 years ago when I started becoming a Lions fan. No, you don't need to hear any of that. Enjoy all of this. The only thing I would say is that this team is playing so well, riding so high, so confident, that, yeah, I could see a step back or a misstep of sorts, meaning drop a game to a team you have no business losing to, coming out and maybe just not playing the best football when people are so used to seeing great football. That could happen, but it's just hard to imagine with just how well the team has played, looked, the chemistry. They get J-Mo back. They added Darius Smith. Things are just going so right that I'm just trying to warn people, be ready for little things to come up, and you'll be caught off guard because you're so used to the Lions making the play at the end, or the Lions going for it and getting it, or the Lions scoring touchdowns in the red zone, or them getting off the field on defense. And to preview this game in Houston, what I see is just, I like Houston's team a lot, man. I like their coach. I didn't like their quarterback in college because he came from that school that we shall not speak of, who lost to the Wolverines, 2-3 times? How many did he lose to Michigan? I don't know. But when I told Chops this, I knew C.J. Stroud was going to be a really good NFL quarterback when he absolutely showed out at the Combine. And I know what some of you are saying. Okay, you got all wound up because he threw it against the air. Well, no. He threw beautiful footballs all day that day. But what I saw was an alpha dog, a guy that was the leader of that group, was positive, had a lot of moxie, a lot of mojo, and oh, by the way, he threw one of the prettier footballs I had ever seen. What does he do when he gets into the pros as the number 2 pick? He throws a beautiful football. He's a great leader. He is a man of faith. He just puts the ball on people. They score a lot of points. They have a lot of weapons. So I like their offense a lot. I like their head coach, and their head coach is a defensive guy. So I like their defense too. They have guys that can make plays on the ball. I like Stingley. I like Petrie. They they've got they just have a good, solid overall team. Offense, defense. Again, I don't put a ton of stock in special teams, even though I love coaches. They love to pump it up. But here's the thing. Like, Houston Texans have been going through some injuries. Haven't had Nico, former Michigan man, for a while. He's obviously really turned into a nice pro. Steph Diggs is now gone. My boy, again, go back and check my record, my live audio in that draft. Who took Tank Dell for the Lions? I think I got him in the third or fourth round as one of my, I don't know if I was doing the Oakley picks or the Oakley Dynasty or whatever I was picking at that point, or the Koolaid on live picks, whatever it was. But I told Chops, he'll tell you, I kept saying, man, I'm watching this Tank Dell character. He's got, 1,200, 15, 18. I don't even know. He had some ridiculous stats in college, like 1,500 plus yards, I want to say. Scoring touchdowns. I didn't care what his size was. He could separate. He could make plays. I still really like Tank Dell. He's starting to come into his own again this season. Joe Mixon has been a really nice addition for them. So, again, I really like Houston, especially when they're healthy and ready to roll. It's in Houston. It's prime time on Sunday Night Football, but I'm here to tell you, you put this Lions team right now indoors against anyone at any time, any place, I'm taking the nines. I'm here to tell you, because you cannot mess with Demo, faux show, let's go, and then when they hit you, like, tell me I'm wrong that Demo just gallops through defenses. He's always on balance / off balance the way he runs. He'll run over you. He gets all the extra yards. He has that forward body lean, both for touchdowns, first downs, grimy yards, whatever he needs to do. I love everything about how he's running the football right now. But I had a mini rant, a little bit of a half meltdown the other day, because I'm sitting there watching the first half against Green Bay, and I swear my man, Jahmyr Gibbs, had like 4 to 8 snaps. I'm not even talking touches in that first half. He was just non-existent. And that's been like that in other games too, where this guy's just not on the football field, and when he is, he's not getting the football. And all of a sudden they get him on the field and they get him the football, and he's absolutely, wait for it, heat! So I think that you just gotta find this combo more of like 50-50, maybe 60-40 for the young cat. I'm not trying to push Demo out, but man, he already got paid. He's good. But my eye test tells me that if you gave Jahmyr Gibbs like 20 touches a game, 12 to 15 in the run game, and threw him, 4 to 8 passes of some sort, whether it be screens, slants, seams, run him on a wheel route, whatever, he would be a top 5 back in the National Football League from a production perspective, and especially just the swag he has and the speed and the physicality and just his character, everything about him I love. So he just needs the football more, plain and simple. But I expect J-Mo to hit the ground running. I really do. Indoors in a game like this, I don't see why he won't make a few great plays and have a lot of fun. Sammy Biscuits, the Laporta supporters, we've all been coming along. Sammy's been doing it. Sam I Am has been doing his thing. Jared Goff is just unconscious still, or he'll go the whole half with no incompletions. He's surgical out there. You love to see it. I don't see any of that slowing down. My only thing would be, how healthy is Houston? And if they are healthy, can we cover and can we get after the quarterback in this type of game where Stroud won't do his thing against us? In a perfect world, I kind of see this as a fun shootout where it's like both teams are up in the 30s. So if I had to give a score prediction, I'm kind of looking, seeing if I got my times, maybe a little shorter. I'm still probably in the 30, 40-minute range for this episode, even though I'm driving, even though I'm talking like crazy. A score prediction for this game, I mean, I'm thinking like 35 for the Lions and 28 for Houston, maybe 31, somewhere in that range. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't see them getting, I don't see the offense getting stifled for the Lions. I also don't see us holding like Houston to like 14 or 17. I see them getting more points than that. It should just be a really fun primetime matchup, to be honest. I'm actually hoping that Nico's back and some of their guys and just kind of see a fun back and forth between two young, fun teams that have some nice new jersey combos that like to throw the football, aren't scared to kind of go after it and fight, have a nice battle out there. So I'm going to give the Lions this dub, but like I said, 7-1, you've been rolling. Head to Houston if they end up being healthy. I could see the Lions losing this game. And you guys know I don't like to say that here on the pod, but I could see it being a shootout that goes to Houston or something happens where the Lions just come up a little bit short. But like I say, just not only the way they've been playing, but just the way they're feeling, it just feels like they're going to find a way to get another win on another road game. And then before you know it, we'll be like at Thanksgiving and then heading down that home stretch. So I just love what I'm seeing from the football team, the fan base, the listeners of this show. You guys have just been awesome. And I'm hoping this audio is not too horrible. You just got to bear with me that it is on wireless earbud while in the car. But I had a lot of fun talking Lions. I'll try my best to get this out at your regularly scheduled time. Thank you so much for listening or fast forwarding through the ads, because that really helps us out. That's really been boosting up the show on a lot of different levels. Word is probably have Chops back, I think, next week. If I get some time and can lower my stress level a little bit, I'll try to maybe get a guest here or there. But we're talking Lions, man. There's a lot of weeks where I'm like, man, I got to do this, got to do that. And really, it's fun when I can just open a mic and rip a show like I did this, just talking, having fun, doing gimmicks, being excited about this football team, who is the best team in the National Football League. Nobody questions it right now. The Detroit Lions. You know it's true. You heard it here first. So, everybody, that's what I got. And I'll catch you next week right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. I'm out.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions. Drink it in, man.